Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Remember Me Daily Readings for Lent. Happy Wednesday and Holy Week. I shall start with reading the readings for today. Admire the silence with which Christ suffers his many injuries. Who would not have supposed that divine justice would have armed every spectator to revenge such terrible treatment, or that at least Jesus would have defended his innocence with his own sublime eloquence? It is otherwise. Jesus was silent. Ah, me, the innocent Jesus, is accused of so many crimes, before so many judges, in the sight of so many people, and ill report is his. Dangers surround him, thorns, nails, the cross await him, and he is altogether silent. Jesus was silent. He would supply for your pride by his shame, and so he is silent. But he held his tongue. Learn to hate your impatient volubility. When you have to suffer anything similar, come hither, my Jesus, and teach me silence. Compare your innocence with his, the accusations you incur with those of Jesus, the reasons for self defense you think you have with those of your master. Set the sentence you have to fear side by side. Sorry. Set the sentence you have to fear side by side with that he incurred. He was silent, and you can only blush for your querulous loquacity. And then to end the readings for today, in times of agitation, be silent. When your spirit is calm, speak. So, very interesting readings, talking about keeping silent, and it is something that we should do more and more as Catholics, kind of hold our tongue and not be so fast to defend ourselves, not be so fast to respond to accusations. And I think a problem today, especially now, when people usually they have an issue with with the popularity of blood sports and stuff like that, debates and everything like that. I think the biggest problem is that people like to wait to speak. They don't listen, and to keep silent is actually a smart move. Maybe with time, with patience, you can respond to certain accusations a lot better than you can if you would respond. Um, you would respond, um, um, immediately. I could think of one situation. This person isn't Catholic, but it's a situation that reminds me of why keeping silence is important. I don't know if you remember. I don't like name dropping on this channel, but I'll just do it just for the sake of using him as an example. There was this content creator, and his name was Jack Murphy, and he had written some degenerate things, and he got called out by a super chat, and he got really like butthurt, right? And excuse me for the language, but he got really defensive, right? And he lost his cool and started yelling at Sydney Watson. I think that was the host, for no reason, when it could have just been like, if he would have stayed silent, could have just been like, hey, it was embarrassing. I'm not into that anymore. So I think it's not really important to talk about that. I moved on and, learned that that's not good. Of course, everything is easier when you have 2020 vision. Everything's easier when you're not being put on the spot. But yeah, I think you should just keep silent. I mean, if your haters say something about you, I think the best thing that you can do is just be like, yeah, I mean, what do you want me to do? Right? Or stay silent and not really defend yourself. Sometimes defending yourself makes things even worse. You could either stay silent, or you can just say like, hey, it was what it was. I learned my lesson, and that's it, and just simply move on. And these are shortcomings that not only happen to guys like that I just brought up a story for you guys, but That's happened to us. We get accused of things and we try to defend ourselves instead of just remaining silent or using the least words possible. Um, these are also things when you're arguing, if you're married in the married life and you're arguing, maybe slowing down would be a better way to calm things down, because when you're speaking quick and thinking of just defending yourself, you'll say things that you'll regret later, or things that turn out to be ultimately hurtful when they have no reason to be. So I think now that we're getting closer, right? Because Christ did stay silent when he was being accused of things. I think we should take we should take notes from that situation and really um, follow the example that Christ gave to us, and stay silent. For our benefit and for the benefit of our accusers. 'Cause sometimes, our accusers. The thing is that we think that our accusers are saying this to us because they mean ill will towards us, and sometimes it's just most of the time arguments come from miscommunication, and a little patience and a little of mercy and a little charity can go a long way. And um, that starts with staying silent and kind of um, putting yourself spiritually together. Maybe you can benefit from that, and not attack your accusers. Sometimes it might be that they might have a certain point, to a certain degree, but like I said, it um, might be better to just stay silent, and not go too fast. Don't go 150 miles an hour if you don't need to. But with that being said, I hope you guys, Lent is going great. We're almost done. We're here Wednesday in Holy Week. Tomorrow, Monday, Thursday, getting closer and closer to Easter, to the resurrection of our Lord. If you've been doing your devotion, stick to it. If you haven't, you still have time. Please pray for me as I'll pray for you guys. And until next time, take care and God bless.